I'm gonna be like, yo, come with me and Danka. We're gonna do this thing, and then I'm gonna get Frank and Meg to rob Lenny.
Okay, guys. Lenny's gonna do. Lenny wants to do the same situation, but we're gonna do it on EJ. Okay. Okay. Don't hurt Lenny, please. What the hell is this? What the hell is this? Okay. EJ, these aren't real robbers. They're just fake robbing.
No, I'm a real robber. Fucking let me see your shit.
Shut up, Danka.
Oh, you fucking dickhead.
Lenny wanted to test. No, good job,
Lenny.
EJ. You passed. Good job. I'm just gonna miss you, car.
Are we ready to get started?
Yep, already over here, Your Honor.
Oh, yeah, we're ready as well, Your Honor.
All right, let's get into this. All right, so let me get this straight. With this court case, this isn't necessarily going to be one about bringing up witnesses and stuff like that. This is going to be debates over the claims inside of a contract. Is that right?
Well, we're happy to bring up witnesses just to confirm the details within the contract itself, but I'm happy to also just speak with the defendant's counsel regarding the contract itself if needs be.
Okay, why would I need a witness to tell me what's in the contract that I can read?
I was gonna say.
True.
All right, is anyone here disputing that the contract was signed by both parties?
Nope.
No, Your Honor.
Okay, so whatever conversation that they had before or after is completely irrelevant, because once they put that signature on that contract, it doesn't matter what conversation they had. You read the contract, you sign the contract. I'm gonna give the prosecution time to explain why they think that their client deserved the money of the loan inside this contract. So the floor is yours.
So, Your Honor, today the reason that we come here is to discuss the contract and the finer details that within the contract itself that was entered between both the plaintiff Nino Chavez and the defendant Lenny Lodge. More basically within the contract itself, a payment plan was set out for 4 installment payments starting from, I believe, the 28th of April to the 19th of May 2021. I believe cited within section 2, the purpose of the loan was for the immediate purchase of a benefactor Schwarzer VIN 3PMSP98NP1F050655. This was the second iteration of the contract. One contract was given to him prior for the loan installment, and a second one further confirmed that the VIN number that was listed was for the what we put down as established as collateral for the total loan amount. If in case failure to pay or failure to reach the kind of terms of the contract happened. Again, cited within section 8, it states that as collateral for repayment of the loan amount, borrower agrees to put forth the vehicle, and then the VIN number, which I cited before, which lists to the benefactor Schwarzer that is in Lenny Lodge's possession. It was basically told to Lenny on multiple iterations of the contract that were drafted before and after the purchase of the vehicle that this was to maintain full security and retrieval if a dispute were to occur between parties. And even his own clarification on the docket showed his misinterpretation of what the term collateral actually meant. The defendant, Lenny Lodge, had multiple infractions, which more often than not, if one infraction occurred, we would increase the rate of payment unless he was to find himself kind of current with the loan agreement. That was highlighted within section 6 of the contract, and these negative
okay, whenever you say increase the payment, is that like within an interest rate?
Yeah, so there's a
is that interest rate stated within the contract?
Yes, that's
what's
cited within there as well. Let me just pull it up. Doki, so there's interest brackets of the original first infraction, second and third. It starts with the original 20% interest, 25, 30, and 35 after each infraction. So first, second, and third infraction.
Jesus Christ, that interest rate. Okay.
Yeah, the first installment was failed to be met on the 28th of April, where Lenny did not put forward any money whatsoever. An agreement was made so that he could put forward a secondary payment, and he, on the, I believe, 5th of May put forwards both the first and second payment at the same time. However, the third installment, which was scheduled for the 12th of May, and the fourth installment on the 19th of May, Mr. Lenny Lodge failed to meet either of those. We gave 7-day grace period of 7 continuous calendar days. He failed to meet that. He actually, from the third date payment that was put forwards, he waited 46 days, and 7 days after we started to seek collateral and recuperation of the car itself to actually attempt to make any payment whatsoever. We attempted throughout to kind of allow for an alternative plan, face-to-face conversations with the defendant, to which no kind of change was made whatsoever. At this point, we're just looking to seek recuperation of the vehicle in its entirety and have the vehicle given to the plaintiff, as he has been in clear breach of both the 2 infractions of not meeting.
He's forgetting to add on the fact that the car has been paid now.
Payment within that.
When did the what date did these payments start on?
The first scheduled date should have been the 28th of April. However, his first payment date was the 5th of May, where he made both the first and second on that date. Okay.
Let me go to the defense side. What's your argument of the contract? Do you have the money readily available to pay out this contract? What's the status?
Well, so when Lenny was made aware that this had gone up on the docket, he actually instantly paid out the amount that Mr. Schultz had posted that Lenny owed of the $89,900. He actually gave them an extra $100 just to give it a nice round 90,000. So at the moment, Lenny believes once it went up on the docket, he has actually paid off the full balance.
Okay, back to the prosecution.
So, basically, within the 46 days between the third payment and the actual payment that he'd made, we attempted to kind of retrieve payment throughout all of that.
That's a lie.
The reason why we had, and I know it's hearsay, the reason why we ended up posting it on the docket was we had heard that rather than paying off the loan itself due to most of the plaintiff taking time out of the city, but still being in contact with Lenny consistently, Lenny was spending money on the car itself or other means, so we just decided to push forwards with retrieval of the car.
The upgrades were paid after the loan, the car was paid off.
And basically, the contract itself was a rent-to-own kind of agreement in itself. So at that point, we still continued to own the vehicle until he had made full payment. It was, I think, 6 days after the actual docket itself had been posted. Actually, sorry, 7 days after it had been posted on the docket. 6 days after you had presided as the judge for the case itself.
So let me get this straight. Has the complete loan been paid off?
I believe so at current. However, it was, I believe, 46 days, more than a month after the agreement.
So a collateral is there to make sure that you get that money.
I did submit evidence showing Lenny's bank transfers of the final amount to Mr. Chavez. I'd be defenses B, Your Honor.
So yes, we do have the money in its entirety. However, due to the default terms, the vehicle would have been returned to us as default way in advance.
But they didn't ask for it. They could have had it as collateral, but they weren't around to ask for it.
The vehicle is now paid in full is
This
because
is
of
their lack of
actions
consistency.
for recuperation of the collateral itself.
Yeah, that's how that works, right?
If you could review the contract itself, Your Honor, it's less so a collateral via the means of.
But that's what collateral means.
So via the means of when we get the amount in full,
they fucked
it
the
is
contract.
written as
Lenny
if it
knew
is a
this.
rent to purchase.
Yeah,
So the vehicle
I
is
know.
listed as kind of ownership under us, technically, until the amount is paid in full.
So whenever the vehicle's in your name, that means the title's in your name. So you could say in a contract that the vehicle's quote unquote rent to own, but whoever's name that title belongs to is who that vehicle belongs to. That's how that works.
Okay, so the reason why we're doing this is because it's after the 7 calendar days, it's put forwards as the immediate release. It literally says after 7 continuous calendar days, lender may demand release of the collateral, and then we have put terms as to how the vehicle is.
But they weren't there to take the
more than
collateral
likely
because
only
they've been
passed over
around.
to us unless we have in writing given it to someone else or anything like that.
If they wanted the car's collateral before Lenny made payment, Lenny would have gone along with that. That's fine.
Even
But they didn't.
Constitute at all times a valid and perfect first security interest vested in the security party and will not become junior to the security interest, liens, or claims of any other creditor.
Then they shouldn't have accepted the payment for the car.
Is to us.
Has the interest been paid off on this?
Yes.
On the late payments?
Sorry,
Go ahead, Gil. Okay, Gil had posted an entire loan breakdown of the entire remaining balance to be paid for the loan, including any interest and any infractions Lenny had incurred, and Lenny has paid back more than that amount.
However, the only reason how we then sought to seek recuperation of the vehicle is because he had been in clear violation meeting the new terms within Section 8, and if you skim through the entirety of Section 8, the reason why we are seeking the vehicle is because he failed to meet the actual infraction costs of a new interest rate, and had now met the terms
I'm
of
whispering.
immediate release of the vehicle.
With the new interest rate kicking in, has he paid all the money that he owes you guys?
According to the contract itself, he would owe us the vehicle. Still, technically, even with the increased interest rate, no, he has not met the full amount because he is at the second infraction interest rate amount. However, according to the contract, he would owe us the vehicle itself over the interest.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that contract.
If there is an outstanding balance of anything from the interest rate that was miscalculated, I'm sure Lenny would be willing to, settle that as well.
Well, what I'm curious about is I get that here's.
If I may, Your Honor, I can probably explain why the contract is written this way.
We don't have in the city. We don't have laws to cover malicious contracts in the city like they do outside of the city. I know outside the city this contract can be borderline illegal, but yeah, go ahead and indulge me.
Absolutely. As you know, Your Honor, starting up a loan business is very difficult. Acquiring state funds is next to impossible. When Lenny and I originally spoke, he was down bad. And what I mean by down bad is there was no one was willing to assist him in acquiring a vehicle he very desperately wanted.
That's a lie. That's a lie.
Now, he
offered the amount for a lower interest rate. That was the only reason why.
And I told myself, listen, this guy wants the vehicle. I'm going to give this guy an opportunity. Now, I did hear you mention at first that these interest rates sound very high, and relative to the rest of the city, when you compare it to the government-run
yeah, those are too high too.
They're very high. They're very high. So what I said is, listen, Lenny, I'm going to try to give you a very reasonable contract. However, for it to be worthwhile for me, because $150,000 is a ton of money, right? I'm going to give it to you at 20%. And can you promise me you can give this back to me in 4 weeks? And he said, absolutely, I can give this, not an issue. And I said, I'm going to make it a very small increasing interest rate, from 20 to 25 to 30 to 35, right? Other loan companies, they don't even give you that many outs. I gave him 4 outs. Each out giving him another 7 days to be able to fulfill that increased 5%, which, based on which is like one extra fishing trip. You know what I mean? However, for it to be worthwhile giving that much money, I needed to know that if he didn't meet the payments on time, which means that money that I've given him from my own account ends up getting tied up for an indefinite period of time until we bring it to court, that vehicle needs to be on collateral.
Is there anything the defense supposed to add in?
Yes, Your Honor. So as Nino just said, he thought he was doing Mr. Lenny a service while he was apparently down bad, while offering him what I believe to be a predatory contract, and you yourself said it sounds borderline illegal, at least out of the city.
Well, it sounds it. I haven't read it, but it sounds it.
Yeah. And we believe they started you know, once Mr. Lenny Large here had paid off the title, they then heard that he has upgraded the car and it's worth now well above the
Oh my
original
God, he's thrown
total
us under
value
the
of the loan. We believe it to be somewhere in the $400,000 to $500,000 range, which is why they're now seeking so hard to recuperate the car rather than the initial sum of the loan.
Well, you know,
Sorry.
to rebut that, aside from that being hearsay, that is not the reason. And I'm
also
very
interject or
open
something.
to explain why I decided to go down this route, but I leave that up to Lenny.
Okay, I went in the back and I read the contract. Originally, I was on the fence before reading it on whether this contract would be deemed under like a predatory lending. Now, I just want to say right off the get-go that deeming something as predatory lending doesn't necessarily make it illegal in itself. Predatory loans is just a slang word thrown around. You know, generally the FDIC is who determines whether something's predatory from a legal standpoint, not from just a word. And most of the time when people are using words like predatory loans, you know, 95% of the time there's always a collateral in the contract, being like a house or a car or something like that. So when I hear the word collateral, you know, it automatically triggers, okay, we're going down predatory roads here. But with that being said, I did read the contract. I'll be honest, my personal opinion and the way I feel is I feel like the contract's definitely predatory, but that my personal opinion and my feeling doesn't change the law or change what the FDIC defines as predatory in legality and predatory in morality. So the contract's legal. So based off the legality of this contract, I am going to find that the vehicle be turned over to Mr. Chavez. This case is closed. Also, in the future, these contracts will be able to go through the docket.
Your Honor, what
handle
about
that.
the money Lenny had paid to make you know, that he thought he was paying off the outstanding balance of the loan?
Well, you see, the loan itself is the money that he owed, regardless of the car or not. The car is there to say, hey, I'm going to get this money within this certain amount of time, and if I don't get this money within a certain amount of time, I'm getting this car. That doesn't mean that he still doesn't owe the money. That's what collateral is. That's why it's assumed to be predatory in nature whenever it's used to
Just doesn't even know what collateral
try
fucking means.
to gouge you on
No
interest rates.
perception of collateral is fucking changed all of a sudden within 20 minutes.
Is he saying you lose the car
Yep.
even though you paid?
Yep.
Yep, he's losing both.
I think there's a very great
So-
saying that stands down.
Isn't that what the opposite of that's
Farmer
supposed
is
to
a
be? Like you
bitch.
lose the car if you don't pay. You know, it makes sense that you get the money back in place
Feel
of
free
it.
to
Not
come
the
back if you wish to talk to me.
Huh.
Let's let you,
I'm sorry?
I'll just let you do this.
You have to hop in the vehicle. Yeah,
Yeah,
both
so
of you.
you both have to be in it, and then you think about, you know, selling the vehicle to stay in it. I just write the pink slip out for it.
Sell vehicle 1180 and then $1.
Thank you for resubscribing. Welcome back to the Juggernaut's
Gotta pay
army,
tax on
you
that dollar,
beautiful son of a peach.
There we go. Well, thank you, Lenny.
Oh, then I probably.